In this video, we're going to talk about assets. This is now becoming a platform app. Atlassian is investing a lot of money and energy and effort into assets. And so today's video, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and let you know if you should be as interested in assets as Jimi is, or if you should not care like I don't simply care. So let's talk about it. Jimi, I'm going to tee you up. I hate assets, and I do not like the direction in which Atlassian is going in. I'm sure you stand in the opposite corner, though.
I do now. I've been in your corner for 2 years now because I'm not going to say I was there when Insight was actually built, which is
But were you there
actually
when Insight broke all of JSM?
yeah, probably because the funny thing about Asset, it was actually built by a Swedish company here in Stockholm, where I am from, and I actually know the founder that built it, and I was there in the early days when they actually were starting, and they were trying to tease me about it, and back then I wasn't really impressed by it. But I grew to actually like the product quite a lot because I like data, I like structure and organization of data, and I like how to connect different things. And then Atlassian bought it and they moved it to cloud. And I looked at it and it was like Frankenstein's monster, but only one leg. So it's like, what the hell is this? This is not assets. It's some kind of crap. And
Yeah.
I really did not like it on cloud at all. And it had so many limitations, and they started to make it less useful. They took away functionality. They limited to the number of things that you could connect. And I was like, have you killed this wonderful product? Unfortunately, I had a communication with Mike, who's the product owner for Assets. And we talked a little bit. He told me a little bit what we were doing. And for the past 2 years, they have basically, the team has been awesome, by the way. From what little I know, they have rebuilt this one from from the bottom up. And it's now one of the tools that I think have the greatest potential of all, possibly challenged a little bit by Compass, but
I,
it is the greatest tool I think right now.
so I think
And
I think assets is too powerful for its own good, and that's why I don't like it, because it is a tool that technically Atlassian is kind of labeling as this mega tool, right? Because they're abstracting it out of JSM, they're making it a platform app, so then Confluence
yeah,
and Loom and everybody else can interact with it, especially Rovo.
yeah,
But setting it up is not trivial. Using the AQL is not trivial.
yeah,
Really taking advantage of it is not trivial. And there's
no,
zero to no documentation on how to actually do it good other than your videos.
yeah, yeah. I hear that a lot, and I agree with that. What has happened since around July, August last year is that when the internal team actually completed more or less the architectural restructure that they did and optimization, they have now started to pump out a lot of functionality for it. So I actually have someone that reached out to me, wanted me to basically coach them a little bit about assets, and we had a session last week where we're going to go through imports, which is one of those things that people really really hate, because it took me there's a reason I don't have any hair, and that is what I try to figure out how to import things in assets because the
Yeah.
documentation is abysmal. And I was just going to show it, and I was like, "What happened? They changed it. Oh no, no, I have to learn this again." And they made it
Yeah.
so easy. So it was like, there's no point of me having to show you this one. I can show you this in 2 seconds, and you will understand how it works. So they are doing a lot on that front, but I would love to have, if Atlassian is watching this one, send me to Australia for 6 months and I will do the documentation and I will do videos for everything on how to work with this tool. Because right now the information is divided between Insight, data center asset, and then you have 2 or 3 different versions of cloud. And it's impossible for anyone to, if you want to start with this now, if you want to use ChatGPT or something, try to get the information, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
It's
Yeah.
going
Half the queries in ChatGPT don't exist.
no,
Um,
they are gone, or they existed
it's
6 months
very
ago.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
hallucination. But I have a really hard time promoting assets. In fact, I
yeah,
tend to send people to assets for Jira, which is a third party plugin that kind of
yeah,
fakes assets, but that's well documented
yeah,
and much easier to use and a fraction of the cost. Because another
yeah,
thing that we haven't talked about is Atlassian has not published how it's going to build assets going forward, now that it's been divorced from the requirement. Because it used to be that you used to need to have to be on the premium version of JSM to
Yeah.
even have assets. That is now different. In the
Yes.
service collection, the 2-tier standard or premium and enterprise for that matter, they get some assets. It's the difference between 5,000 assets or 50,000 assets.
Yeah.
And but again, we're still tied to the service collection. But this is a platform app now, right? Confluence users could
Yes.
technically use assets. So I'm assuming that Atlassian is going to do some pricing there for just assets as a whole.
And I think that is one of the best moves they've done for assets, because, like you said, it costs, what is it, $50 or something like that for one user in assets.
Yeah, but I don't know, man, because when I saw Atlassian's presentation in Barcelona when they were introducing that Assets became a platform app, my immediate
Yeah.
gut reaction was like, great, they took the worst thing that I hate about JSM and they scaled this thing up.
Yeah, yeah, but for those of us who like having more data within Jira Service Management or Jira, and now for all the apps basically, having Asset actually becoming a free app that you can start playing around with, that is a really, really good thing.
But
The use cases for it has now it's exploded,
it
because
exploded,
now you can use it for everything.
but not setting it up correctly, you're handicapping yourself as well.
Yes, and that is true because Asset is basically a database, and if you don't understand data modeling, for example, you will shoot yourself in the foot a
Right.
lot.
Because
So
you
you
have to
need
have a
help with that.
conversation of like, what is an attribute versus an object
Yep,
type versus a nested object type versus a nested
yep,
nested nested object type. And then how do you link from a nested 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 object type to just an object type? And like,
yep.
at what point, like, there's just so many trade-offs and pros and cons analysis that you have to make when you're solutioning the system, that it is just so tricky to configure and set up. And my friends that love assets, they're like, yeah, it's just database management. I'm like, guys, how many Jira people have like degrees in Jira like in database design?
Everyone, right?
I don't know. I got
No,
a
but you're
micro
absolutely
degree
right. That
somewhere.
is a tricky part, because we used to have in the past, or we still have it a couple of years more. You have this distinction. You are either an Atlassian administrator with some technical capacity, so you're good with hardware, for example, if you're in data center, or you have it. You're leaning a little bit towards programming, so you can do Groovy script in Script Runner, or you can do for integrations. And now you will have that. So you are a little bit of a database modeling. You are someone that can actually configure assets properly. So that is a new dimension that you need to have, but I don't think it's that difficult to actually get into. Maybe it is because I've done it for like
Yeah, I
40
think
years.
once
But
you know the tricks, like
yeah,
I've started to like assets more, but the only reason I like it more is because I have an Atlassian One instance that
yeah,
is loaded with assets, loaded with custom fields, loaded
yeah,
with projects that are using those custom fields, and I, out of my own curiosity, can reverse engineer the heck out of it. But if you're
yes.
just staring at a blank page, you're like,
Yeah,
what are
but
you
that
even
is
doing?
that is a little bit the way automation used to be also, right? You need to do a little bit, you need to be smart about how you do automations. You need to scale them a little bit, and you need to make sure that you don't build multiple ones that do the same thing, like 15 different ones for SLAs. So it's all about learning how to take advantage of it. And once you have figured out how to do it, you basically need two things. You need to model it, and you need to figure out how you get data in there. So at the moment, the biggest issue I have is permissions, because you want people to be able to take responsibility of data, but you don't want to give them access to everything. So you have to build it through your service management with approval steps and stuff like that. But I think you have seen that they're rolling out the new permission model now for assets. And that's going to be the first step, as I understand it, then towards having more granular control of the data there. So I think we will see a lot of new, very good things for data management in assets. And as soon as Mike can fix the data manager import there, so it actually becomes useful, then I think even you will love it,
Yeah,
Alex.
because that whole, like, most of my teams, they're setting up or configured with Intune, right?
Yep.
And getting that data natively
Intune
from Intune.
and basically one of the ADs is usually what you use. You
Yeah,
want users and you want computers.
but it's a pain in the butt, and there's just no easy way. And like, I just
I think we need to have a sit down with that, because setting up Entra and Intune, for example, that takes basically 10-15 minutes each.
I've been sending
If
my
you use,
clients to Onwards,
yeah,
app, or the PIO app, or the
yeah,
PO app, however you
yeah, the
pronounce it.
PIO app is very popular for that one, and that one is very easy to use.
Yeah, but again,
So
I feel like though this should be free from Atlassian. Like I shouldn't
yeah,
have to go get an app to do this basic functionality.
and that was the case 2 years ago. You had 15 apps, I think, for cloud that was free, and then they removed that when they bought AirTrack, and they wanted to use Data Manager for it. Data Manager is still too big, and you still have to have a server to do the CSVs to actually use the imports. But they are fixing that, so they are focusing a lot on that. So once we have the imports, and you can get data from anywhere. Imagine today you probably have a lot of customers like I do that have apps or connections to their CRMs, for example, so they can get customer data. Now you can just import the most important data directly into Assets, and you can use Assets for anything. You already use it for your computers, your laptops, for IT support, and you can use the spider there to go through your network for operations, so you can actually have that. Tons of people are using it for things like license management and
Yeah.
certificates,
No,
for
I mean
example.
the uses are infinite. I
Yeah,
like the power of it. This just needs to be like for dummies.
yeah, it needs to be much simpler, and I think they're doing that. Like the import, if you do CSV import today, it is a gazillion times easier to do it today than it was 6 months ago when I did my video, or a year ago when I did my video for it. Because then you had to have, like, you need to know a little bit of a code, some AQLs to actually get it in there. Today it's just you just map it. Which object type do you want to connect it to, and what attribute? Done. And it's super simple. And you have a lot of powerful things of filtering and how to do different things. So it's so much better today than it was just last summer. So the team are doing great to actually beefing this up. And we have so many cool automations now. Like you can add, edit, and delete things directly from a workflow or from an automation,
Yeah.
and you
No,
can
it's
also
definitely
you
a
can listen
technology.
to
It's something
yeah, you
I'm
can also
investing a
listen
lot
to
more
data,
time.
so you can actually get a notification if you have a date that is coming up, like an
Yeah.
SLA. So those are really cool things.
Yeah, no, I believe in the future of the product. I wish either like I don't care if it's complicated as long as we have good documentation on it because I don't mind learning
Yes.
it. It's the fact that
Documentation is A&O. You have to have good documentation, and you
yeah,
have to remove the old things.
yeah, because the problem is
That's
I'm
it.
expected to be an expert on it with no
Yeah.
documentation. And
Yeah, but
and
that is
the hard part is like unless I'm an organization myself, I don't really
yeah,
have dummy data to practice, right? Like
yeah,
so you need to find like a company that is willing to learn with you.
yes.
And
Or you also need to have maybe someone that can teach you. I think we are lacking that one as well. There are not a lot of people that are very good with assets. So I was fortunate enough to actually work with a few people that were experts already, and they working with them taught me a lot. And like I said, I have a lot of help also from the asset team, and also since I am familiar with the founder, he can tell me a lot of secret things that were in the original Insight product,
not
and
all
that
of
they
them
are
are
now
for
building
you.
also in a new product. So yeah, but having that mentorship and also training, I think that is something we should have in the champion program. Just having, like, next time you go to teams, if you come to Barcelona, maybe we set up an
Yeah,
asset
I've been
workshop
telling
for it.
Atlassian since 2022 that there needs to be like a train the trainer program, right? Because
Yeah,
and this is one of the reasons why I was so inspired to do this series with you because you're not the only one I'm doing this series with. I'm doing
yeah,
this with a couple of other colleagues of mine. And I'm like, guys, I cannot sit up here and say this is how you do it. I want to hear the ideas from other experts on how they do it, their thoughts, their technique,
yes,
because there's no silver bullet here. There's like no one way to do things, and I think the Atlassian doesn't help us. Other people are behind these NDAs and stuff, so you cannot disclose it. But there's
yeah,
got to be a way for us to share these best practices, which is also why I started the Atlassian Everything community with Josh, so that we can have a place where we can discuss
yeah.
these important topics that nobody's willing to stick their neck out to discuss.
Yeah, and I also think if you have the Atlassian community in your city, for example, and you have some other Atlassian administrators or partners that go there and you can actually find them, going out and having a lunch with one of them is a lifesaver sometimes. Maybe you're just fuming with anger because someone removed the
Yeah,
functionality, or
or
you have
you
a
go to
customer
team,
you need
right?
to.
When I was in Barcelona, I just went straight to the assets booth, and I took a list
Yep.
of all the questions from my client. I'm like, help me answer these questions.
Yeah.
And in 10 minutes, I had hours and hours of research done.
Yeah, but that's what you want. So yeah,
Cool.
but we should probably have one of your top 10 questions for assets a video, and I will go through them and show you how asset
I
works.
definitely think we should do a collab on some asset stuff because there's
Yeah,
not enough training material on assets. And I think even your videos, like you said, right, they're a little outdated now. And
yeah,
so I definitely think we should both, as content creators, be investing in making more asset material out there because
yeah.
I would love to use it. I do see the potential of it. I am very excited for it. I just hate that this is the way they went about it because it's the least
Yeah.
documented thing in the world.
Yeah, in my book, I actually have a part of the configuration chapter where I discuss a little bit how you can use asset as a tool to document the changes in the system. So it's
Mm.
part of the governance.
Yeah, we had somebody on the Journal Life come on like 2 weeks ago, basically telling us how they use assets to track when an individual, like a space owner, has left the company, to then
Yep.
track which spaces are now you need to be up
Yes.
and stuff. So there's a lot of
And
powerful ways to use it when you know how to use it.
yes.
That's
The,
the
the
part.
the
When you
sad thing is, in data center, you actually have an app for it that actually go through the API and actually fetch all the data directly from Jira. They don't have that
in
in
the
cloud
cloud.
yet, but that would be
Oh,
great
that's
because they can see how bad it is,
yeah.
how many custom fields you have, and how many are global scoped and stuff like that.
All right, folks. Well, that's our conversation on assets. Let us know in the comment section if you like them, hate them, where you at in the spectrum of assets. And appreciate you, Yimi, for joining me in this series. And we may have to do more depending on how successful these go. So if you guys enjoyed these, let me know by sharing it, subscribing to the channel, dropping likes, adding comments, and we'll make sure we bring Yimi back for more conversations. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a future episode.